He's been doing his research at the National Center for Polar and Ocean Research in Goa. In today's talk, Rahul is going to be taking you in Antarctica, showing you, talking about his own expedition, about how he collects samples, and why Antarctica is the favorable site to know a lot about the climate and the history of this planet.
Records in Antarctica, the amount of data that we can get from here is like huge. While on the other hand, Antarctica is a continent, it's a landmass which has ice on top of it, and then it is surrounded by ocean on all sides. That makes these two continents contrasting to each other, which is, you could call a miniature city in Antarctica, can have around 1,000 people, 1,000 people staying there at one point of time during the summer seasons. While during the winters, it can fall down to 100 or maybe a couple of hundreds. Maitri was the second station that was built up in the year 1989. So it is almost 31 years old now. Such a big continent filled with so much of ice, if it starts melting, there would be 58.3 meters of sea level rise. Some parts of Antarctica have been showing changes in temperature. Yeah, some places have been, like this part over here, the edge, the peninsula, it has been getting warmer, but then there are some places which have technically been getting cooler for the last 50 years. So this is a typical or a theoretical idealized ice sheet dynamics model, wherein we say that the ice sheet is in the shape of a inverted bowl or kind of thing. And before doing that, there were a lot of different kinds of ground penetrating surveys to understand how the ice layers look over there. You can see here in the bottom. So we drilled two ice cores, so one 122 meters and the other 50.5 meters. So this method basically works on dark field imagery. So you have two light sources, one over here and one over here, and these are both inclined at 45-degree angles. So now if the ice over here is clear ice, it has nothing in it, the light from these light sources, they would just pass through the ice and nothing would be reaching the camera. The camera is mounted over here. But then if you have an ice which has a lot of particulate matter, you have ice that has cracks in it, different physical properties which can interact with the path of light. That interaction would result in the light from these light sources reaching the camera. And that would result in seeing what you see as the bright layers in ice cores. The composition or the ratio of this oxygen isotope, it varies with the amount of energy in the system. During the winters, you get a very a more negative delta 18O value, while during the summers, you get a less negative delta 18O value. The ratios that you're seeing they are being controlled by temperature, MSA, which we call. These ions, they come in from the ocean. The variability in the component of ocean would be telling us about how much of these ions would be coming into our ice core sites. Then you have the fertilizers that you use for agriculture that contributes ammonium. Deserts, basically open land masses, they contribute calcium, iron, aluminium. So you have lower temperatures, lesser vegetations, more open areas that bring in more and more of dust. But then that brings us to the bigger question, which the society demands. What is happening in Antarctica? Whether there is a very good effect or a very big effect of climate change that we are seeing all around the world, or whether the changes that we see all over the world is not being replicated in Antarctica. What we feel when you go to Antarctica, that yeah, everything is secluded. But then it's not always like that. People over there are very friendly because the fact being they're all away from home. So stations which are very close to each other, they come visit each other. Like we have visits from the Russian station, the Novolazerevskaya, which is not more than 3 kilometers from the Indian Maitri station. Then there are the base of ALCI, which takes care of the logistics, the flying from South Africa to Antarctica. They also have a base which is very close to Maitri station. They also come by. This is a picture that we had from the Republic Day celebration.
I just had a quick question, which you have mentioned and I kind of missed. So what is the reason of the bright and dark patches? I'm talking of the optical data which you showed due to the microparticles. Yeah.
Thing is because the amount of dust that is coming in, which I was telling you about in the later slides, the amount of dust coming in varies with season. When you have more aridity, when you have more winters, the late spring and the winters, they have lots of storm activity that is going on, lots of heavy winds. So they bring in a lot more of dust as compared to during the summers.
I see.
That
Okay.
causes this, crystal clear variability that you are seeing in these ice cores.
Okay, so it's just a seasonal effect. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's a seasonal effect, and that is the basis of this study. Done a lot of work. So the point of our work on ice core analysis is that it takes a lot of time. So you have to be patient because the analysis, not even analysis, just the subsampling of these ice cores takes a lot of time. The conditions that we work in, the laboratory spaces that we work in, they are at minus 15 degrees centigrade. So you cannot spend like the whole day inside over there. You have to come out, you have to, you have to get that energy back. So working in fields like this can be challenging. And my point or my, message to anyone who is looking for doing a PhD or a research is that if you want to do something, if you want to do research, you have to do something different. You cannot just follow in like what everyone else is doing. You have to do something challenging. Once you start doing something challenging, it gives better results than what a normal research would give you. It's better for you, it's a better entertainment while you are working in conditions like this. 5 years down, you will remember that you did a lot of good things.
So the people who don't know us, Research on Web is an online platform which is trying to connect all enthusiastic researchers like Rahul and to make the general audience aware of what is happening and why is research so important in the modern world. So we are conducting weekly webinars. We are covering every diverse topic from particle physics to cosmology, from microbiology to financial mathematics. And this is where you can come into play. So if you are an enthusiastic researcher and if you love your research work, please feel free to contact us and make use of this amazing platform that we are bringing into you.